No playoffs because politics. Yes, hello everyone. I'm sure you've seen the news that's just come out that due to the Gateshead Council denying the club of a 10-year lease on the international stadium, Gateshead are not allowed to compete in this season's National League playoffs. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I'm absolutely gutted for everyone involved, for the players, for the management, for the fans, for the board, just everyone at the football club. Because over the last year or so, and over the last few years really, since we came back from a situation that I've talked about a few times on the channel, this football club has worked its absolute bollocks off to get to where we are right now. And over the course of the season, we merited that playoff spot, and it's just been like totally ripped away from us because the council just don't want to give the club the 10-year lease on the ground, and the EFL weren't happy with that, and therefore we've been denied the chance to go up, basically. So before I do get started, I would just like to, on behalf of the Gateshead fan base, just thank the players, the management, the the board, just everyone at the football club for a brilliant season this year, and working so hard to get to this point. But I'm just going to lay into people that need laying into here, because Gateshead Council have shown once and for all they could not give a shit about our football club or any sports club in the Gateshead area, and I think that's apparent with the amount of leisure centres that are closing down. If you go to the International Stadium now, obviously there's no roof on what is the away end, and the ground is just slowly becoming more and more decrepit, and to put it bluntly, the ground's an absolute shithole these days, because they just don't don't care, and it's as simple as that. And no doubt in a few years' time they will be complaining of obesity and crime rates in the area, and they've quite frankly brought that on themselves, because there's nowhere in Gateshead for people to go to keep fit. There's no place for them to go to keep out of trouble. And in a few weeks' time, they'll no doubt be giving it, oh, best of luck Gateshead in the FA Trophy final, bring it back to the North East. Yeah, sod off, man. Like, we know you don't care about us, and you've made that ever so apparent now. You had a football club that to be proud of, that's not on the other side of the river and owned by Saudi billionaires. This is run by local people, supported by local people. And I know I'm from Yorkshire originally, but you've got a small but hardcore group of fans that would run through absolute brick walls for this football club. The same with the players and the same with the management. So you've massively let your community down today. And obviously the National League, we're in our corner on this, and I can only respect them for that. But the EFL, unfortunately, we're having none of it. And what it now means for the situation regarding the playoffs is that Solihull will get a bye into the semi-final and face Barnet, while Altrincham versus Halifax in the eliminators will still go ahead as planned. Just a week ago, I mean, I'm not this is obviously isn't really a dig at the National League, but it does mean that things maybe don't add up a little bit. The National League changed our fixture at home to Chesterfield to the Monday night for the purposes of sporting integrity, or integrity of the league. So in that case, Solihull finished fifth in the table, Altrincham finished fourth. So by that logic, shouldn't Altrincham have been given the bye into the semi-finals and Solihull play against Halifax? It's just an observation, and I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, I'm just, as I say, just absolutely distraught for the people that I've travelled around the country with all season long, for the players, for Rob Elliott, because we've had a lot of challenges this season. Obviously, Mike leaving for MK Dons, a mass exodus of players in January, but we've overcome every single one of them, and we've never once taken no for an answer. And I think now it is more important than ever, like for this football club to really stand together and not take no for an answer on this, because because there are people and like politicians that need calling out, and that's the bit that really hurts about this. The fact that this is nothing to do with like sporting merit, sporting integrity. This is all political, and that is what really doesn't sit right with me. If we'd have been booted out of the playoffs because we'd like fielded ineligible players several times, or we were like money laundering or whatever, I could totally get that. But the fact that this is all down to like politicians that have nothing to do with football whatsoever, really, is yeah, that's just where it absolutely stinks. And I think this whole week's just shown what is wrong with football at the minute, particularly in this country. Like you look at the FA, just going ahead and scrapping FA Cup replays without the consent of the EFL, the National League, all the governing bodies at Step 3 and below, just consulting with the Premier League and nobody else. There is a lot of issues with football in this country just now, and I think this just adds to what is already a farcical situation, and something needs doing about it soon, because if something's not done about this, then what kind of precedent does that set down for Gateshead? What kind of precedent does it set down for clubs in our position where maybe the council own their stadium or whatever? It's really not looking good at the minute, and I know you might be watching this and laughing or thinking I'm playing the victim, whatever, because it is my club, but I'd probably say the exact same thing for any other club up and down the country. And as I said, like the club have just worked relentlessly over the last few years to obviously claw the club back from the brink of extinction, to get it through COVID. Like obviously all clubs were struggling through COVID at the time, to the FA Cup run season before last, winning the National League North title season before last, staying up relatively easy in the end last season, getting to the FA Trophy final last season, getting to the FA Trophy final again this season, to maintain a good standard of playing squad, and yet we're like totally powerless unless like those in a high position like show do their bit to support as well. So as a Gateshead fan, it really does leave me with a couple of questions of where does the football club go from here. I understand we are appealing this, and hopefully we will be heard on that, but I'm really not holding my breath. But unfortunately now, through no fault of our own, we've got to address this situation, convince players that it is going to be sorted, and we will be trying to compete once again next season. And look, I'm not like wishing ill on any of the clubs in the playoffs. Like good luck to every single one of them. But for me as a Heat fan, this just really stings right now. And for me as a football club, as Gateshead supporters, we've got to do something to like basically turn the tide on this. But that's all I'm going to say, no matter. I'm absolutely furious, I've got to say. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on what's most likely now looking Wednesday night with the Durham Challenge Cup final at the Stadium of Light between Wickham and West Auckland Town. So another club within the borough of Gateshead. Do the council care about that one? We'll check back on Wednesday to find out. But until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.